Hey guys, and welcome back to Brexit. Brexit England, Northern Ireland, and Eastern Europe. And in Brexit England, Shell have put in massive profits while we are going through a cost of living crisis. But in another twist, we had the local elections yesterday where we had food banks and polling stations in one. They doubled up for the day. Food banks and polling stations and food banks. This is Brexit Britain. What a very sad place to be. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages sent me. And a special thanks here to everybody who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up. So thank you so much for that. I'll go for all the messages. I'll answer as many as I can. But I will like all the messages for definite. So we had the local elections yesterday, and obviously the Tories took they lost a lot of their councils, which was to be expected because the crisis what Boris Johnson has put this country through is the country's in a catastrophic place. If you ask me, was you asking me? Well, the country's fucked up. Then that's my answer, right? But you see, this is not right because Labour, right, are doing anything special. Labour's not doing anything special. Right? Not in the way, that Sinn Féin have just sat back and just watched the DUP just fuck themselves up. Not in that way, because that was a clever thing for the DUP to do. But Labour, right, have not been attacking Brexit. No, right? They're scared. They're still scared of the people from the Red Wall, even though, right, Brexit is destroying the country. It's done over 100 years worth of damage to the country. Even though they can see that, because I can see that, then I'm quite sure that they can see that, because they're supposed to be much smarter than me. So they can see that. So they're still afraid of that. I mean, and I'm just looking at, and then obviously there's the fact that the damn fools, right, did go and vote for this Brexit deal as well. So, my opinion on that. Yeah, if you're a politician and you voted for the Brexit deal, then you're just as stupid as someone who voted Brexit. You're the same. Right? You're one side, you're the left side of the backside, and they're the right side of the backside. You're the same people. You're idiots. And you can't argue with that, because look at the state of the country. So you can't really argue with the fact that I'm saying you're idiots, right? Because you've destroyed this country, right? And I mean, if you can explain to me how it is, that the EU have got full access to this country, but our businesses have got to go through so much red tape to get our goods in there. They can just send us all sorts of shit, right? They can send us whatever they want, and they can just say, "You take that." That's it. Done. What can we do? Nothing, right? Because once upon a time we were sat at the table making decisions with them, and now we're not even outside the room. We're outside of the building, outside the front door of the building, waiting for the security guard to come out and go like, "Yeah, they sent this letter down for you. You take that." That's where we are. Right? They won't even let us outside the fucking room. Right? And these people will tell us how we were supposed to be on par with the EU, and all the time the EU is just laughing, because there's a difference, yeah, in how the EU works and how England PLC works. England PLC is a selfish organisation. The EU is not. The EU, believe it or not, right? Because I know it's hard to believe, right, that there are politicians who actually work on behalf of people. And that's what you find in the EU. They work on behalf of the citizens of the EU. They're not working on behalf of the EU organisation. That's what Britain PLC does. Britain PLC doesn't work on behalf, England PLC doesn't work on behalf of its citizens. You go to Scotland PLC and you see the difference. You go to Wales PLC and you see the difference. You go to Ireland PLC and you see the difference in how they treat their people of the country as to how the people of this country are treated. You know, so Keir Starmer, right, not being able to mention Brexit and them things there is just it's ridiculous that he's still afraid of those things there. So this is why I say to you, yeah, that when it comes down to it, right, nothing, right, you know, even with a Keir Starmer government, nothing will change for us, for the people. Right, we're just fodder. As you can tell, yeah, by Shell, right, gloating on how much profits they're putting in. They're like, we got so much money, we got the top down, so much money in the big house. Taking the fucking piss. Right, it's just like, money, 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 money. Just talking about it, right? Just like, we got that money, 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 money. They're taking the absolute piss. They're like, we got so much money. How are you guys doing? We can't heat our fucking houses, and we got 77-year-old women riding around on fucking buses because they can't heat their fucking house. And you're telling us about how much fucking money you're making. But then you go to other countries, you look at France, and the French just said, oh, yeah, no more than 4%. Because why? Because, you know, they've made sure and they've kept hold of their utility companies. In fact, they own utility companies in this country so that they could make sure that their people, right, can get cheaper gas and electric. So they speculate into other countries so they can keep it cheaper in their country. Now, isn't that working on behalf of your people? Because, you know, your people, that's something essential, right? You know, gas and electric is something essential for us. It's something that we need. It's not something that we just want. You know, this is not a Andrew Rosendale situation. It's not something that we just want. It's something that we need. We need that to live. Right? And these people ration it off to us, right? And then they've got the fucking cheek, right, to just, you know, reverse Robin Hood us. It's just hood, because they're hood rats and what they're doing to us, right? They're taking from us, from the working class and the poor, right? And they're slinging it all to the fucking rich, right? By you know, these people getting so rich, right, while we are going through a cost of living crisis, and these people are getting so rich. How the fuck does that work? Right? How is it that Shell are telling us, woo, we got so much money, man. How is life for you? I would like to take one of your oil rigs and drop it on you, right, from the space shuttle. No, from the space station. Just drop it right on top of them. Right? Because these people are absolute arses, right? Polluting, right, the motherfucking world up, right? Gathering as much cash as they can, our money, right, with our government's consent. They consent to this. You know, I got a message from one of my contributors from Belgium, right? And I'm going to try and remember the basics of it, right? But I believe in Belgium, if you earn less than €1,400 a month, I believe the government just top you straight up to that. It's like, don't worry about it, top you straight up to that, right? And throughout the fuel crisis now, right, which obviously Belgium's dealing with, you know, probably going to deal with in a similar type of way how France is dealing with it, right? Throughout this fuel crisis now, they've said, well, if you're earning 40, obviously if you're earning like the $1,400, €1,400 a month, right, then your fuel cost will not change. Right, so that's, you know, that's, I think that was the pretext of what he sent me, right? So that's the difference in how people in other countries are treated, as opposed, right, to us, right, where they just say to us, you know something, once a day we are going to kick you square up the backside, right up the crack, with winkle pickers on, right? And failing winkle pickers, we're going to get some really sharp stilettos with the toes like that, and give you a good kick right up the fucking rear end every day, because that's what they're doing to us, right? And if you think that Keir Starmer, right, because you know Murdoch is okay with Keir Starmer, right, and all of these people, it's in their interest, yeah, just to keep the status quo. What are we going to change it for? What are they going to change things for? Why are they going to make? Why do you think, right, that they want to make our lives any better? Look at the fight, right? What when the hard left from Labour was saying, well, you know, there should be a £15 minimum wage, right? Look at the fight. How Keir Starmer was like, no. What would they want that for? What are they going to do with all that money? No, they don't need that. Keir Starmer turned into Andrew Rosendale overnight. Right? Remember what Corbyn and John McDonnell and that black chick was working on? That's Diane Abbott, by the way. I love Diane Abbott. Right? I would stand in front of a bullet for her. Right? Remember, right, what they was working on? They was working on what would be good for us, a universal basic income. Because, you see, the people of this country should be able to enjoy some of the wealth of this country. But what they've done is they've taken all of that wealth from the country and they've diverted it over to private companies. And the people of this country are like, yeah, that's a really good idea. Because we don't think that money should go back into the economy. It should just go to the few, right? Because we are stupid, right? And we think we know our place. And our place is to be at the bottom of the pile. At least 4 classes below Liz Truss with her pencil neck. That's how you people are. That's who you people are. You're idiots. You're stupid. You're absolutely thick. Right? That's why you keep voting in people, right, who hate you. People who just think to themselves, just slap them about. They're playing a chess game with your life. All of them. Look at all of them on telly all night. They've been on telly all night, right, talking about the election, right? You know, talking about, people like, you know, can't heat their homes. You know, they can't afford to feed themselves. Oh, it's terrible. It's shocking. Of course it's shocking. It's not shocking for them because they're not living that life. They're all going home to nice warm beds. All of them. They've got nice cars outside, the ones who haven't got drivers. They're not even using public transport. Because, you see, we've got that hierarchy, right? And then, you know, that hierarchy have got their minions, and their minions' job, right, is to make sure that we always stay in our place. And if you've got people that, you know, I'll tell you, you see how the media went after Jeremy Corbyn. That should have showed you that's the person, right, that we need. When these people are trying to convince you, right, that, you know, well, they convince people that, you know, that Boris Johnson was going to be a good prime minister, and look where that's got you. Right? That's got you can't heat in your house. Right? Can't, you know, and people eating one meal a day. We've got 77-year-old women eating one meal a day, and we've got people like Shell gloating, laughing at us, right? While they, right, are robbing from the poor and slinging it all to the rich, with our government's blessing, our government's enjoying the fact that they're doing this. Right? Look at all of them. Look at all of them on the telly. All look well fed. I've just seen Robert Jenrick, right, the teething motherfucking fool, right? You know, tried to rob £40 million from the taxpayer, and he's still all up on the telly. He's there being interviewed on the telly. You try and rob 40 million from the taxpayer and see if they ever let you out of prison again, right? I guarantee you, right? You know, there's people, right, that have stolen £40 million from the taxpayer in fraud things, right? You know, a lot of people do it every year on VAT. You know, because people can claim a lot of money back on VAT and these things. They claim, you know, these tens of millions of pounds. Some people do, right? And every one of them, when they get caught, they're all in prison. Okay, Robert Jenrick, right, is on GMB. Okay, so these people, they're allowed to do these things, right? Look how they stole the £37 billion. What they done? They just stole it. Right. Even now, we're paying 500. We're paying 500 grand a day, right, to store PPE, right, that they've misbought. You heard about missold, because the PPE was missold to us in the first place. So it was misbought PPE, and now we're paying £500,000 a day to store it. Do you think that you could get away with this type of shit? Right. This is not government. Right, this is not. None of this is government. Right, none of us have had government throughout the years. All we've had, yeah, is people who are just looking out for their own interests. Right, the press are all in on it. Right, the top, the chief police officers and all these type of people. They're all in. They're all in on it as well. Right, all of them. Right, and as I said, yeah, they've got their minions out there. Right, who convince us. Oh, well, these are the people we've got to vote for, because look what they're saying about these people. Look, Barnett's just gone back in Labour's hands, right? Only because Labour have just said, you know what, actually, we're okay, right, with white people murdering brown people, so that's fine. Because Barnett's only gone back into Labour's hands because they said, well, you know something, we won't say anything about what's going on in Israel, the apartheid that the Israelis are committing on the Palestinians. We'll keep our mouth shut about it, and then you'll come back and vote for us. Yeah, yeah. So that's what's going on there. But they'll say to you, "Oh no, it's because you guys, because like Jeremy Corbyn, he was anti-Semitic." No, it's anti-Israel, right? And the people of Barnet, right, are full-fledged supporters of Israel. They're okay with white people murdering brown people. They're good with that. Right, and as the hierarchy of the Labour Party now proved, that's they're good with that too, because now they know to just shut up their mouths about Israel. They can't say nothing about Israel. They have to keep their mouth closed. Right, even though Amnesty International have said that these people are committing an apartheid on the Palestinian people. And how much people do you hear speak about it? How much people have you heard speaking about it? Where in the world? Who have you heard speaking about it? No one's speaking about it. Yeah, no one's speaking about it, right? You see, I keep telling you people, yeah, our fight, right, is all about this classism, because when it comes down to it, right, these people will have, they will allow, black and brown countries to be genocided the fuck away. When it truly comes down to it, right? And the hierarchy of the Labour Party right now is no different. Right, they're no different. Right, so when you see them go all out, right, to make sure that you could never ever, right, put this person in power, because it's like, well, your capitalism is brilliant, look how it's worked. Well, capitalism have got old ladies riding around on buses, right, because they can't heat their homes, and eating one meal a day, right, from the yellow stamped section, from the, where they put the little yellow tag on. That's where the lady's eating her meal from, and that's your capitalism. And then they said to you, oh well, oh Marxism, and I've read Marx, right, and let me tell you, right, you see, when you read stuff, yeah, I often say to people, try reading between the lines. Right? And so you can try and get a thought of what the actual person's saying, because what they put down on paper, right? They can't put down every single thought on paper, right? Because they'll be there forever. So you have to try and read between the lines. And when you understand Marx, yeah, you'll get this. You'll understand, yeah, that you've got a strong mix, right, of socialism and capitalism. Okay, and that is what the world actually works on. Right, but they'll say, because I speak to people. I'll speak to one guy, and he said to me, "Well, so it's all like," because he doesn't know the difference, yeah, between socialism, right, and communism. Right? Because these people are like, oh well, because they think that Russia is communist, and I say, well, Russia's not communist. You can't get Chanel, right, and McDonald's in communist places. That doesn't happen. Right? Russia is communist for the poor. Okay? The rest live in capitalism. Same in China. Right? Look at the products this in China. You can't get that, right? If you want to, I try and explain to these people, North Korea is communist. But they don't understand. They don't understand. They think, they think that these people say, no, that is it's a mix, right, of socialism and communism in China and in Russia, right? And if you understand Marx, right, then that would be the understanding of it, because there's certain things that you don't put in the hands, yeah, of capitalists. That's things like social housing. You don't give that to capitalists. You don't give out your NHS service or your education service to capitalists. Right? You don't give over, your utility companies to capitalists. Right? Those are the things, right? And if you understand Marx, right, then those are the type of things that you would understand. You want to buy a TV? I don't buy no TV from the fucking government. I want to buy a TV from Dixon's or Curry's or from Tesco's or from Lidl or from Sainsbury's or from the Co-op. Right? But when I want to heat my house, right, I want to go to the government because I want them to be in charge of that. I don't want private companies to be in charge of that. I don't want my money, right, that I'm paying to heat my house to go into the hands of private people. That money should be circulating just like the central heating in my house. But we should talk about a bit of Brexit. A few headlines from Brexit, because I'm already like 21 minutes in. Right? German and UK trade has fallen sharply since the Brexit vote. Now there's a headline, eh? What was we expecting? We was expecting the German car companies to come in and say, you know what? Don't give them a bad deal because they're so important. Right? And they rule the waves. They rule Britannia. They rule no fucking waves no more. No waves. Right? The effects of Brexit see, I should wear some glasses, The effects of Brexit has been masked, according to John Fitzgerald. That's the true effects of Brexit. That's John Fitzgerald of, I believe, the Irish Times. But of course, it's been masked. It's been masked by by pandemic, COVID, and obviously the Ukraine war that they're trying to divert us to, and then obviously you've got things like Partygate and all these things have masked Brexit, have masked the effects, right? The true effects of what's happening with Brexit, because Brexit is destroying this country. When I say it's destroying, well, considering that Jacob Rees-Mogg now is telling us that only a fool, right, would put red tape in front of their businesses. Didn't it dawn on you people, when Jacob Rees-Mogg, took his pencil motherfucking ass, right, and took his businesses, right, over to Ireland? Didn't that dawn on you then? Hold on a minute. Why is he doing that? Didn't something click in to say, well, all of this looks a bit strange, but no, strange, isn't it? Very, 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 very strange. The DUP have overplayed their hand by backing Boris, right? And I think tomorrow, or I don't know when the count is. It's either tomorrow or Sunday, right? But they are going. I think they're going to take a real. I think it's going to get completely blown out of the DUP, and all of that, is far too much listening to what leprechauns have to say. Then these people, motherfuckers, need to kiss the Blarney Stone. You see how Sinn Féin have just been like, Sinn Féin haven't had to do anything. They've just let the crazy just carry on with it. And Sinn Féin have just been getting on with probably local politics and all those things. Do you know what I mean? While the DUP are out shouting all this crazy nonsense. Do you know what I mean? It's like they was out howling at the moon, like there were a couple of Irish wolf hounds. Seriously, there's something wrong with them. Passport validity shambles is the only way to describe the situation after the Brexit vote. I believe that's what Simon Cordler said. You know him, the one who does all the travel shows, right? Simon Corder. Something like that, right? But that's what he said. It's a complete shambles because obviously that with the new rules, with just far over time, but with all the new rules, right? With our passport, new passport rules, and all the new rules that we have to adhere to, which have been imposed on us, right, by the EU, right, who are bitter, right, and hateful, right, and they can't stand the fact that we have left. I have a feeling they don't care. But anyway, guys, I've had to come to the end now because I've gone so far over my time again. This is By Any Means Necessary. I'm the MC John Ribs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.